A weekend recap on what went down against the Dodgers and the Giants barely getting out of there without getting swept. A player profile on Trevor McDonald. And is it time to shut some players down for the rest of the season? That's all coming up on Locked On Giants.
You are Locked On Giants, your daily San Francisco Giants podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Giants, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every single day. My name is Alan Stiles. On the show, we provide daily episodes Monday through Friday talking about the San Francisco Giants in a way that combines passion, analytics with the eye test, and a little bit of fun. I'm from the Bay Area, but I live in Sacramento now. I also host a show at Sacktown Sports, the Alan Stiles Show. Be sure to check that out, as well as emceeing Sacramento Rivercats games. All in all, I'm lucky enough to cover a team I've been a fan of all my life. Today, we have a weekend recap, a player profile on pitcher Trevor McDonald, and is it time to sit some players and shut them down for the rest of the season since the Giants are not making it to the playoffs? This episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Enough with boring, flavorless caffeine. It's time to give your caffeine a flavor upgrade with 5 Hour Energy shots. Go to www.5hourenergy.com or Amazon today. Is it time to move on? Well, it definitely is time to move on from the playoff conversation, and we're going to kick this off with the weekend recap and why it is time to move on, because the Giants barely got out of LA without getting swept. Okay, they avoided the sweep against the Dodgers on Sunday against the Smurfs, and the weekend series told a familiar story. They were outclassed. They're just not as good as the Dodgers. Surprise, surprise. They're getting closer, but sometimes it doesn't really even look like that. San Francisco has now lost 9 of 13 matchups with the Dodgers this season, part of a 13-26 mark against the division heavyweights. The numbers tell the tale. 186 team batting average against the Dodgers. I know people don't care about batting averages anymore, and I'm more old school. I still do. 186 is bad no matter if you're old school or new school. That's horrendous. That's bad, okay? Only 11 home runs, and they've been outscored, wait for it, 72-52. So when it comes to measuring up against the best, against the champs, as much as it pains me to say those words together when talking about the Smurfs, when talking about the Dodgers, the Giants have consistently come up short. That's just what it is. Friday, they fell behind early and couldn't keep up. Robbie Ray gave up back-to-back home runs. We have some things to say about Robbie Ray later in the show. Saturday, the Giants got off to that hot start. Again, at this point, the Giants go up 4 in the first inning. Just chalk that up as an L. Just chalk that up as an L. They have to be the worst team in baseball when it comes to going up specifically by 4 runs in the first. If they go up by 4 runs in the first, they are losing that game. It sounds ridiculous, but they are losing that game. We did get some highlights. We did not get a Bryce Eldridge home run, but we did get a bases clearing double. That was great stuff from Bryce. He also had a really nice play yesterday at first base. But the Dodgers responded on Saturday with 4 home runs, including 1 by Ohtani. I do not want to see Shohei Ohtani for the rest of the season. I'm so glad that the Giants do not have to see Shohei Ohtani again. He's insane. He is, and look, obviously we have Barry Bonds out here with the Giants, and we understand how good Barry Bonds was. This is not the day. Maybe we'll do it during the offseason. This is not the day to compare, but I do not want to see – you know who else doesn't want to see Shohei Ohtani anymore? Is Logan Webb. As Crick and Kipe said, ultimate ownage right now. Logan Webb does not want to see Shohei Ohtani. But then again, he's got 53 home runs. Nobody wants to see Shohei Ohtani. So that's not just a Logan Webb thing. The Giants could not hold on, so they lose that one. Sunday, the Giants avoided the sweep with the very gritty, I'll give them that, 3-1 victory. Rookie Trevor McDonald made his first major league start. He held the Dodgers to 1 run over 6+ innings using a sharp mix of pitches, including a curveball that got a lot of Smurfs to swing and miss. The offense finally came through in the 8th inning. Christian Koss and Drew Gilbert sparked the rally. They had a couple singles. Then Patrick Bailey tied it with an RBI double. Willie Adames drew a walk, and ultimately they were able to get the deal done. Ryan Walker did close the deal as well, so good for him. Very, very glad to not have to see the Dodgers anymore, but I'm also glad that, and I've been very real on this show, but I'm also glad that the Giants can't pretend. They're not good enough. They have to get better. Even if they got into the playoffs, they weren't beating the Dodgers. I don't know. I know they beat the Brewers in that series. They're not beating the Dodgers. They weren't beating the Phillies. They weren't beating the Brewers, even though they beat the Brewers in the regular season. So who knows? But they're not beating any of these teams. They're just not there yet. And that's fine because there's time for them to figure it out next season. But there is a small part of me. I would have loved to see the Giants get to the playoffs. There was a graphic that got put up, and obviously the Giants went to the playoffs in 2021, and they were there for a hot second after those 101 victories, and that was really, really fun and nice to see. But this is from SF Giants guy on X on Twitter. 2017 missed the playoffs. 2018 missed the playoffs. 2019 missed the playoffs. 2020 missed the playoffs. 2021 they won the division. They lost to the Dodgers in the NLDS. 2022 missed the playoffs. 2023 missed the playoffs. 24, 25 will miss playoffs. One word that SF Giants guy says at the end: unacceptable. It's unacceptable. You are supposed to be one of the bigger brands in baseball. People still respect you. They respect you so much, they gave you opening night still. This upcoming 2026 season, you kick things off against the Yankees. So they still respect you. All that goodwill from the even year championships, they still respect you. But at some point, you got to show up to play. At some point, you have to give people a reason to respect you. Because right now, you are, the fourth best team in your division? And you're the fourth best team in your division when the worst team in your division, the only thing they were battling with was the Chicago White Sox. To not be the worst team in the history of Major League Baseball. That's the Rockies. To just not be the worst team ever. That was their goal all season. So you're the fourth, right? And you can argue the Diamondbacks, they've gone back and forth, but Diamondbacks did the same thing that the Giants did, and they showed up. You know what else I saw over this weekend? That the Marlins have won 6 straight, and I believe they've won 10 out of 11. They're still technically not out of it. They're not going to make the playoffs. But you know that reminded me of? Teams do this. That whole stretch, that 2-3 week span, teams do this. Whoop-de-doo. They got hot for a second, and that was supposed to save Bob Melvin's job. Teams do this. Good teams and contenders don't fall off a cliff. And that's what the Giants ended up doing. So it was fun, but teams get hot. If you're not terrible, you're going to get hot eventually. So what else are we supposed to do with that? At this point, we now know that the Giants would have gotten handled in the playoffs. Not enough bullpen pitching, dang near not enough starting pitching, and the hitting is just way too streaky. On the other side, let's discuss what is going on with Trevor McDonald, who gave us the only bright spot yesterday in a really, really nice Major League Baseball debut. Don't move. More Locked On Giants coming up. This episode is brought to you by Zippix Toothpicks. Whether you're looking for nicotine satisfaction or an energy boost, Zippix has you covered with their nicotine and caffeine-infused toothpicks. For nicotine users, Zippix provides a discreet way to satisfy cravings and the hand-to-mouth habit without vaping or smoking. Zippix can be a helpful tool as you work to reduce your dependence on vaping. Available in 6 great flavors with 2 and 3 milligram nicotine options. And if you need energy without the crash, their caffeine toothpicks are a game changer. I've used the caffeine toothpick before big meetings and long drives. They give me energy without the jitters. And the flavors like peppermint, watermelon, ice actually taste great. Go to zippixtoothpicks.com. Use code LOCKED ON for 10% off your first order. Must be 21 or older to order. Warning, nicotine is an addictive chemical. That's zippixtoothpicks.com. Promo code LOCKED ON. Zip more, smoke less with Zippix Toothpicks. Caffeine just got a flavor upgrade. 5-hour energy shots deliver tasty caffeine in 17 bold flavors. Each 2-ounce shot packs the caffeine of a premium 12-ounce cup of coffee, plus B vitamins and nutrients with 0 sugar and 0 crashes. What I love most is how portable they are. Big taste, tiny shot. You can take it anywhere and get that boost when you need it. I always reach for my favorite flavor, Tropical Burst, because it's refreshing and gives me that quick lift before a busy day. I've been eyeing Apple Bash too. It sounds like a perfect one to try next. Honestly, I love how fast it kicks in and that it's sugar-free, so I don't have to worry about crashing later. Enough with boring, flavorless caffeine. It's time to give your caffeine a flavor upgrade with 5-hour energy shots. Get the favorites you love or be bold and try something new in-store and online at www.5hourenergy.com or Amazon today. We have a player profile today on, look, I know I said I wasn't going to use the word savior anymore, but he was the savior yesterday. He saved the Giants from getting swept. Trevor McDonald, come on down. Trevor McDonald, in his first MLB start, delivered a composed outing, 6+ innings, 1 run allowed, a curveball that had everybody swinging and missing, and just 1 walk. 3 strikeouts as well. Solid stuff from the 6'2", 24-year-old out of Mississippi. Trevor McDonald might have only just made his first start in the bigs, but his path to the Giants rotation has been years in the making after signing for second-round money as an 11th-round pick out of Mississippi back in 2019. McDonald quickly became one of San Francisco's more intriguing pitching prospects. His development hasn't been straightforward, though. He's had some injuries. He had a hamstring in 2023, a groin in 2024. Groins are always tough, by the way, leaving him with just over 300 professional innings across 6 seasons. But the Giants, they feel like there's something within him, and they've stuck with him. And on Sunday against the Dodgers, we really understood why. He delivered those innings in a 1-run ball game in a pressure spot, showcasing a really good arsenal that has made him, in my opinion, a name to watch. He no longer really leans on the upper 90s velo that he had earlier in his career. And we know how it goes as you maybe don't have that the same way or decide to rear it back a little bit. You can define your pitches a little bit more, which is what he's done with that sinker that we saw time and time again. The Dodgers did, they did hit the sinker, don't get me wrong, but he has a good feeling on where to place it. And obviously that's what a lot of guys are doing these days. So that has been something nice to see. He can still get up to 96 when he needs to. Mechanically, everybody is really fond of that low 3/4 slot that he has. It's not the prototypical delivery, but he knows how to repeat it in the zone time and time again. So he's just got to work on his command, number 1, and number 2, staying healthy. As far as his ceiling is concerned, as we've talked about the Carson Wisenhunts and guys like that, the Hayden Birdsongs, Allen, do we have a guy? Do we have a stud in that rotation? It could be McDonald, but again, I still think the Giants would put him in the same group as the other pitchers that I described. So what is his ceiling? Scouts and evaluators see McDonald as a potential back of the rotation starter with upside if the command clicks and he can stay on the field. You can't make the club in the tub. That's what one of my coaches always told me. For the Giants, who have spent the season searching for stability in their pitching staff, his emergence could be perfectly timed. He's still raw in terms of the innings that he's logged, but Sunday's outing showed a lot of poise and confidence and the ability to keep one of the best lineups in baseball, if not the best lineup in baseball, off balance. The Giants don't need him to be an ace. They just need him to become consistent, durable, and be a starter that can eat up innings and give them a chance to win. So if that debut is any indication, he may be closer to being that for the Giants than a lot of people thought. So I really liked what I saw from McDonald. Again, now you have this list of pitchers that you're just trying to figure out, is it going to click for anybody? Is anybody going to take that next step? And really, it's funny. We talk so much about the right field rotation, right? And it was a bit of a second base rotation earlier this season. Will we see something similar for that kind of 4th, 5th starter going into next season when we talk about the Birdsongs? And that's kind of what we've seen. But when you talk about the Birdsongs, the Wisenhunts, and now you could throw McDonald in that conversation, you still have to see what Blade Tidwell can do. So one of these guys is going to hit, right? If you keep throwing darts at the board, somebody is going to hit for you if you are the San Francisco Giants. And that's what they're really hoping for. As far as what Trevor McDonald had done so far in the minors, 9-9. He had a 5.31 ERA, 29 games he pitched in, 24 games he started. He had 144 strikeouts and his whip was 145 innings pitched. He pitched 142 in a 3rd inning. So look, man, I liked what I saw. I'm not going to, jump up and down, but it was nice. This is what I feel, again, excluding Landon Roop, this is what I feel is maybe one of the closest things we've seen to that random rookie that shows up and just shuts down a team. And obviously it wasn't the most electric thing in the world, but compared to some of these other guys, I was out in Sacramento, the River Cats are done now, and just watching Carson Whisenhunt, and he looked pretty good, but again, just going back to wow, they got a guy. And as an 11th round pick, nobody expects Trevor McDonald to necessarily be that, but you're trying to piecemeal this thing together because, again, you can't have big money at every single position. So maybe two of those guys will be in the rotation. Maybe it'll be one of them, but then maybe it'll be a combination. I'm not bringing up, and this is no disrespect, I don't think Kai Tang is going to be in that conversation next season, but maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe he did find something towards the end of the season. He's had a couple good starts or a couple good innings pitched here to close out the season, or the last couple times he's been on the bump. But the Giants have a couple guys that they feel good about. I don't know if they have anyone that they feel great about, excluding Landon Roop. I think that McDonald showed more than some of the guys that we've seen. And this is probably the best that the Giants have felt in a little bit, just as far as a starting prospect from their own organization. And honestly, it doesn't really make a difference. It's just because Blade Tidwell, they would feel the same way because he's in their organization now. I just mean as far as we have to go out and buy somebody or pay for something the same way they had to do for a ton of their positions right now when you look at Devers, Adames, Jung-Hoo Lee, obviously Matt Chapman, and guys like that. So I like what I saw. I'm not necessarily running to the mountaintop saying we found our guy for next season, but to do what he did, don't get it twisted, to do what he did against the Dodgers when we just saw the Giants. I know Logan Webb pitched well this last go round, but the weekend before, or a couple weekends before, getting tatted up himself. Robbie Ray cannot get a Dodgers player out for anything. So let's not sleep on what Trevor McDonald did. I can't wait to see more. And hopefully he can develop into a guy that can keep batters off balance, keep the offenses at bay, and give the Giants offense an opportunity to get it done. One more segment with you. Let's talk about whether or not it's time to shut down some players on the Giants and give them a little bit of rest, because at this point, they're just playing for confidence. They're just playing to get the vibes right because they ain't playing for the playoffs. One more, don't move. Locked On Giants coming up. You've probably seen a million ads for hair growth products and thought, sure, like that actually works. There's so many products out there, it's hard to know which ones are actually going to do anything. That's why you should give Nutrafol a closer look. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. And it's not just hype. This is a supplement clinically tested that targets the root causes of thinning and shedding with a proactive approach. I have some buddies that use Nutrafol, and their confidence has been through the roof. Whether you're at work, out with friends, or even just getting ready for the morning, Nutrafol gives you more confidence in your daily routine. And you can feel good about it knowing Nutrafol is NSF certified, backed by peer-reviewed studies. See thicker, stronger hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering Locked On MLB listeners $10 off your first month's subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code Locked On MLB. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code Locked On MLB. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there's Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If you've ever put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. You can identify that you aren't saving as much as you thought. Monarch helps you notice an inefficient investment allocation and discover forgotten 401ks from past jobs. How am I using Monarch? Maximizing my investments, increasing my savings rate, easily reviewing finances with my partner and my financial advisor, keeping a clear view of my financial health week to week and long term. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONMLB. Is it time to shut some players down with the Giants out of the postseason picture? I think it's time to start asking some tough questions about how they want to manage this final stretch of the season. The biggest one to me is, should they consider shutting down certain players, especially some of the vets who either don't look right or don't have much to gain from piling on meaningless innings? Robbie Ray, come on down, brother. You are an obvious example to me, the former Cy Young winner. He's battled back from surgery, but his command and velo, they just haven't looked sharp. Just seems to me like Robbie Ray has nothing that fools anyone, right? It feels like there's solid contact every time Robbie Ray is on the mound. And I don't know if this is I know it's not a normal thing for Robbie Ray. So I don't know if something is going on or if it's fatigue. But at this point, in my opinion, forcing him through a couple more starts in a lost season could do more harm than good. I would shut him down, let him reset and focus on 2026 instead of risking further wear and tear. And again, you can give some opportunities to other pitchers that you just want to see how things work, right? Blade Tidwell could sneak in there, some of these other guys. So that's what I would do as far as Robbie Ray is concerned. I don't need to see Robbie Ray throw another inning. I do not need to see Robbie Ray. What good does it do me to see Robbie Ray face the Cardinals and possibly the Rockies? What good does that do? What good does that do? And I know we've been through this before with Blake Snell. This is a different situation to me because he doesn't look right, in my opinion. Robbie Ray, he does not look right. Everything looks very hittable. I would never disrespect a Major League Baseball player and say that I could get a hit off them. But if I was in my heyday, I think I could foul something off. When I watch Robbie Ray pitch, it just doesn't look like he is overpowering anybody. Doesn't look like anybody is fooled by what's going on. I just think that we've seen enough from Robbie Ray. Maybe I'm not saying there's something actually going on, but just give yourself a rest. Just give yourself a rest. It's not just Robbie Ray to me. Other vets dealing with nagging issues, whether they're pitchers, it could be some of the guys from the bullpen as well, workload concerns, position players that have some bumps and bruises. I think they all could benefit from dialing things back. We're here now. Didn't want to be here. We're here now. Get something out of it. Leave. This is what I said about LA. Leave here with something. They didn't. Well, actually, they did. They left with a Bryce Eldridge double, so we can stop talking about his flyouts and how good his flyouts looked. And they left with a Trevor McDonald start that looked pretty darn good. So the Giants did find a way to leave with something now that the playoffs are out of the picture. So I appreciate that. Tidy victories at this point. So I think they should use this opportunity. You got 6 more games. See if you can evaluate some more young arms and at-bats at the big league level. Like we mentioned, Trevor McDonald, maybe he can sneak in another start here before the season ends. I think that would be great to just see how it goes. Another name, and this one might be more controversial. I feel like I've seen enough, wait for it, from Jung-Hoo Lee. Because they continue to sit him, in at least once a series. They've said time and time again, the Giants they've been very open that they feel like they overused him earlier in the season. So now they're trying to dial it back. They aren't playing for anything. And if you're going to keep on sitting him anyway, you know what? Get Encarnacion, Drew Gilbert, Matos. I know Matos and his options. The Giants are trying to figure out what they want to do there. Give them all the at-bats. Let Drew Gilbert just roam center. Heck, let Matos get back out there. Who knows what could happen? Maybe he'll look a little bit better. There's no point if you're going to continue to sit Jung-Hoo Lee once a series and continue to tell the media and tell everybody, yeah, we overused him here. Okay, cool. Then just shut him down. Just shut him down. Again, there's 6 more games left in the season. I don't know what Jung-Hoo Lee has to gain. And I'm not saying, he sits all 6. You want to play him a game, a series, cool. Right? Give him 2 more games, 1 game a series, because he's got a really great fan club out there. Fine. But I don't need to see Jung-Hoo Lee every day anymore because I'm already not seeing Jung-Hoo Lee every day. Because you're telling us that you played him too much earlier in the season. So I would shut down Jung-Hoo Lee for that reason. I would also shut down Jung-Hoo Lee because the Giants are trying to figure out what to do with that outfield. Drew Gilbert is this close, in my opinion. And I know those numbers aren't great. And everybody continues to remind me, Alan, those numbers aren't great. right? I get that. But I think Drew Gilbert is a player. I think he can for sure play in this league and do it at I don't know how high of a level, but he can do it at an everyday level. I will say that. That's how I feel. But I don't know what the Giants feel. And before you go in to this offseason where you're going to decide, I don't think they're going to be able to afford a Kyle Tucker, but you got to decide, hey, who are we cashing out on? Who are we spending this money on? Where are we okay letting it all play out? Are we okay with letting it play out in right field? Are we okay with letting it play out at second base? Where we are okay with doing these things, this is where you figure that out. And I know they've already got enough run. You can make the argument, well, Alan, what's 6 games going to do? Okay, well, what's 6 games going to do for Jung-Hoo Lee at this point? And 3 of them are against the Rockies. So they're hardly a Major League Baseball team at this point. Give the run to the young players. See how that goes. Let him rest. And there are some other names you can throw in the comments as well, just to see. The thing about a Willie, to me, what are you getting out of it? Sitting Willie Adames, what are you really getting out of that? I would have a conversation about Matt Chapman, because one thing we've kind of seen from Matt Chapman is he is typically going to miss time. So if you wanted to, but again, the guys that we're talking about, Christian Koss and obviously Casey Schmidt will probably just lock down second base. But Christian Koss, if you want to pull up somebody, I know I've talked about Jesus Rodriguez. He's another guy. I wouldn't shut Bailey down, but I would try to get Jesus up there. Christian Koss, you kind of know what you have. So I don't know if there's somebody else, right, from the Thomas Gavellos of the world out there in Sacramento. But again, do we really think that, because he's been playing third, by the way, for the River Cats. But again, unless you think that he's actually going to be a guy to fill in for you when Chapman goes in, if you just think it's going to be Koss anyway, then what are we doing? Besides just, hey, just get him some ABs and see what he looks like. So I'm not against it, but it's just not as high on my priority list. But Matt Chapman, we know typically he's missed time. So that could be another guy where you say, hey, let's go get some of those River Kitties and see what they're up to, see what they can do. But Jung-Hoo Lee, Robbie Ray, thank you for your time in 2025. I can see you in 2026. I'm good there. You want to give Jung-Hoo Lee a game, a series to end it out for his fan club? Cool. But I don't need to see Jung-Hoo Lee 2-3 games a series. We're good. We're good. Let's see what Drew Gilbert and Encarnacion, let's see what these guys can do. And the Giants can continue to say, okay, cool. Now we have a pretty healthy sample size as we are heading into the offseason. We will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you for listening to Locked On Giants. Be sure to follow me on social media and on the official account, Locked On Giants account as well. It is at @the_Styles Files, Styles with an I as far as my account. Giants taking on the Cardinals tonight. Let's see what they do. No pressure is on them, so hopefully they can give everyone something to cheer about as the 2025 season comes to a close. We will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you for making Locked On your first listen. Locked On Giants, your first listen every day. For your second listen, find the all-night Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night until a World Series champion is crowned. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Until then, we will talk to you tomorrow. Peace.